Honorable Shaba has, raised some pertinent questions. I also, captioned it as a cocktail of, factors that, might help in state creation and might not justify the state creation. This conversation has raised a lot of discussion on the media space. A lot of Nigerians are talking, but the fundamental part of this state creation is, do the people who the politicians are agitating for even know what it means?
Of course they don't, and they don't care.
And they matter.
They really don't care. Ordinary citizens don't care. Go and do an opinion survey. People care more about how governance affects them individually. It's people like Honorable Shaba and my brother in the Abuja that wants to be governor of. And let me give us the financial implication of what we're asking for. Because be wary of what you're asking for. Be careful what you're asking for. Right now, Ademola and Juma, right now, only very few states spend up to 40% on capital expenditure. Most states spend 70-80% on recurrent, which means cost of governance is consuming the larger chunk of what you get.
Yes.
Now, if you create any state, even let's take FCT, you are going to have minimum of 24 state House of Assembly members because it's in the Constitution.
Yes.
According to the Constitution, the minimum number of state House of Assembly is 24, maximum is 40. You are going to have more than two House of Reps member that FCT currently have. You are going to have 3 senators. CO, you are
increasing the cost of governance.
Cost of governance. So where then will you free resources to do the roads, to do the hospitals, and to build schools? So you are just going to exponentially increase cost of governance. Estacos, governors will appoint aides who are not adding values. So you look at it from that point of view. You now ask yourself, so 109 senators will increase by, if we go by 31 now, multiply 31, that's 93. 93 plus 109. That is the number of senators you are going to have.
That's 200 and
whatever. Then you have 360 members of House of Reps now. You multiply that by whatever, it's also a constitutional issue. Because this one constitutional alteration will affect several other provisions in the Constitution. So it's not just isolating and saying we have created states. You have to also do consequential amendment of those constitutional provisions that have already pegged certain things to certain numbers. So why do we want to go that route?
It will also affect the Electoral Act itself.
That is what I'm saying. It's going to affect cost of running elections. You don't get it. INEC will need maybe 3 times what he's spending now. INEC asked for 126 billion in 2025. People were shouting, hey, 126 billion to do what? Just personnel cost of INEC is 87 billion. Personnel cost. So you create more states, INEC, and you better do it now if you want to create any more state, because INEC is going to release the calendar for 2027, maybe in January next year. It has to be 1 year ahead. So how then will INEC start planning for those new states to provide, senatorial elections? Parties will have to now start thinking how to conduct primaries. So you can see that it's not just, it looks so appealing on paper, but the mental, intellectual thoughts that should go into it, we have not fathomed it. Because it's going to it's going to have ripple effect. And just imagine, people are crying for that the roads are deplorable, they don't have pipe-borne water, they don't have electricity, they don't have and then you are still thinking of, okay, assuming without considering that you are spending 5 trillion to run government across the country today. if you create double, you are going to need double that amount to run governance. Then where will you get resources to now deliver the dividends? Because
Democracy.
it's not just about political exclusion. The Igbos that we are agitating that they should be president. If anybody from Igbo extraction today becomes president of Nigeria, is he going to take the entire resources of Nigeria to go and develop his village or his town or zone? There will be checks and balances. When the Jaws have never been president, they were clamoring for marginalization and all of that. So we have a Goodluck Jonathan for 5 years. And then you go back to Niger Delta region. How much impact has his being president felt by ordinary citizens? We Yorubas have had Obasanjo, we are having Tinubu. Yet, last year in Oyo State, people were clamoring for military to come and take over. If they are feeling the impact of governance, would they be saying, come and take over military?
All
so
right.
you'll find out that the missing gap actually is good governance. For ordinary citizens, they would rather have good roads, good hospitals, good schools, give them scholarship, make life abundant for them, let them be able to afford basic necessities of life, give them cheap accommodation or housing units that they can pay over here. And that way, they don't care whether it's an Okuman that is a governor in Kogi State or is a Galaman or is an Ebirama. Likewise, in Borno State. So all of this, we need to think it through. The implication, the financial implication, and that's why my sister, Cynthia, make a very, very valid point. I think it was also supported by Honorable. Let's devolve powers. Devolve powers from the exclusive legislative bring it to concurrent legislative with corresponding revenue sharing formula.
Okay,
because
Jide.
we have to also review the revenue sharing formula in support of those you have devolved powers to.
All right, thank you, Jide.